In this episode, we talk about an abnormally hot April and the upcoming heatwave. We also talk about the BJP dropping Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh and fielding his son, Karan Bhushan Singh, from the Kaiserganj seat. But first, we talk about AstraZeneca admitting that its COVID-19 vaccine, Covishield, can cause blood clots. Hi, I am Niharika Nanda, and you are listening to 3 Things, the Indian Express news show. The global pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca has for the first time admitted that its COVID-19 vaccine, Covishield, could cause low platelet counts and the formation of blood clots in very rare cases. The company is facing a class action lawsuit over allegations that its COVID-19 vaccine, developed in collaboration with the University of Oxford, caused fatalities and serious injuries, including thrombosis and thrombocytopenia syndrome. During the pandemic, AstraZeneca had licensed its vaccine formula to the Serum Institute of India, based in Pune, for the production of Covishield, which was one of the 2 vaccines administered in India against COVID-19. To know more about this and the extent to which those who took Covishield should be concerned, we speak to Indian Express's Anonna Dutt. Anonna, can you begin by telling us what AstraZeneca has said regarding the COVID-19 vaccines that they produced?
So basically, the news has come to the fore right now after there were reports from British courts that the drug maker AstraZeneca, which markets the Oxford vaccine for COVID-19, said that the vaccine is known to cause, in rare instances, particular side effect known as thrombosis with thrombocytopenia, which in short is known as TTS.
And for those who might not know what that is, can you tell us what exactly is TTS and how does it impact the body?
So basically, TTS is a very peculiar condition. It's not something that is seen commonly, in which the body starts forming clots along with a dip in the platelet count. So, of course, otherwise also with COVID, the infection itself, clotting is known to go up in people. But this particular kind of clot that has been associated with the COVID-19 vaccines, that leads to these clots being thrown into different parts of the body which are not commonly seen. So you would see a very peculiar presentation in the brain as well. And that's how it was apparently first noticed, because doctors started seeing these clots which are not very commonly seen in people.
And in this regard, were there any fatalities that were reported?
So the thing is, TTS is actually quite fatal. I mean, of course, it's not that everybody who gets it would die, but a significant number of people do. So, for example, in India, I actually went through the data that has been put out by the AEFI committee, the committee that looks at adverse events following immunization. And according to the data, the last of which was released in June 2023, there have been at least 36 cases which have been directly linked to vaccination with Covishield so far. And in 18 of them, people have died.
And Anonna, since there was such a serious side effect of the vaccine, were there any warnings given before the vaccine was administered?
So the thing is, initially when the vaccination drives were rolled out, which happened, the first shots I think were given in December 2020 in the US, and at a similar time probably in European countries. So the thing is, initially, of course, we did not know about this side effect at all. It did not show up in the trials. However, within a few months of the vaccines being administered, this rare side effect was noticed. And I think around mid-2021, which is when the vaccination drive was picking up in India, the companies actually started writing about this side effect TTS in their package inserts. So Covishield, which is manufactured by SII, Serum Institute of India, also started carrying this mention of TTS and that the vaccine shouldn't be given in people who have had clotting episodes before or have autoimmune diseases. Started coming up by about mid-2021 when the vaccination drive was being scaled up. But what a lot of people allege is that these package inserts were not something that they could read or see. With the vaccination campaign, the single bottle containing several doses, which were given one after the other to beneficiaries.
So, Anonna, what does this mean for the Indians who were administered shots of Covishield? Should they really be concerned about this?
Not at all. So, first of all, this TTS happens after the vaccination, soon after. So, it would happen within about 3 weeks to a month of vaccination. It cannot happen 2 years post-vaccination. So people who've taken the shots in 2021 or 2022 need not worry about it at all. It won't happen now. However, even at that time, in the height of the pandemic, and we spoke to several public health experts and people who were there in, committees that were looking at implementing COVID vaccination. They said that even at that time, the benefits of vaccination actually outweighed the risk of TTS. This complication was first noticed a few months into the vaccination campaigns, which were started in Europe. And these are quite rare, so it didn't show up in the trials. We started seeing these rare side effects only once the vaccine was given to a large number of people. But that just shows that it is quite a rare condition. Of course, it is fatal to some people, but at a time when, so many people were dying of COVID-19, there was a need for vaccination to prevent the disease. But yes, few cases of vaccine-related deaths have been reported.
And what are medical experts saying now that AstraZeneca has admitted to these side effects?
So what experts do say is that there is a case to be made for, not giving this vaccine at a younger age group, which is what a lot of European countries did. They said that, either below the age of 45 or 60 years, especially women, because these cases are seen mostly in women and younger women. So the experts said probably in this age group, we could have recommended that they take the other vaccine, which for India was Covaxin. But in European countries, a lot of people took the mRNA vaccine instead of the Oxford vaccine.
And Anonna, what does all of this mean for AstraZeneca? What kind of consequences can we expect the company to face?
So what the petitioners have said and what we've read from UK dailies is that this admission that yes, the TTS events are linked to the vaccination might open doors for multi-million pound settlements in the UK. Of course, people who faced this in India would not be able to join the class action lawsuit that is going on in the UK. But there have been people who are now saying that they would sue the company even in India.
And next we talk about the scorching heat wave that has been gripping the country. April of this year was marked by unprecedented heat. According to the data from the India Meteorological Department, heat wave conditions were present for 26 days across the country, ranging from small pockets to large geographical regions. While the southern peninsular and southeastern coastal areas bore the brunt of the heat wave, the northern plains have remained relatively unaffected by the extreme temperatures this season. To understand the reasons behind April's intense heat, the criteria for IMD's heat wave assessments, and what we can expect in the coming month, Indian Express's Anjali Marar joins us. Anjali, which states and regions of India are typically more prone to heat waves?
So in India, there is an area known as core heat wave zone, and this is largely an area that covers Gujarat, Rajasthan, Chandigarh, Haryana, Delhi, Punjab, Madhya Pradesh, parts of Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh. So largely the central India and northern plains, all the way from Gujarat to West Bengal, are the most heat wave prone zones in the country.
And when does the India Meteorological Department declare a heat wave? What are the conditions that it looks for?
So the IMD has set parameters or set criterias of temperatures following which the heat wave is declared. So these categories are for 3 regions, that is plains, hilly regions and the coasts. And for each of these geographical regions, the temperature thresholds are different. So for instance, in the plains, if the maximum temperature, the actual maximum temperature crosses 40 degrees Celsius, then the heat wave attempt, the IMD attempts to declare a heat wave. Or if the recorded temperature departure from the normal is more than 4.5 degrees Celsius, then the IMD declares a heat wave along the plains. Likewise, the same threshold is different for the coastal areas and the hilly areas. Hilly areas, it is 30 degrees, and the coastal areas, it is 37 degrees. So depending on which location a heat wave has to be declared, these criteria are applied. And in any case, if the maximum temperature exceeds 47 degrees Celsius, then a severe heat wave is declared, regardless of where the location is.
Right. And what has the IMD said about why April was so much hotter than it usually is?
So in the summer forecast for April, IMD was capable enough to forecast well in advance that April will be warmer than what previous years have been. That is primarily because 2024 is an El Nino year. And during El Nino years, it is well known that the temperatures, the summers are harsher, wherein there can be chances of intense heat wave spells, so which was realized during April.
And Anjali, you mentioned the weather phenomenon El Nino. Can you explain what that is?
The El Nino is a naturally occurring oceanic phenomenon with a resurgence frequency anywhere between 2 and 7 years. El Nino conditions refer to the above normal sea surface temperatures recorded along the equatorial Pacific Ocean. The years when El Nino conditions prevail, several studies have shown that El Nino is capable of suppressing Indian summer monsoon and also triggering harsher summers and intense heat waves over India. The ongoing El Nino began in June 2023 and it peaked during December. As per the latest forecast by IMD and the global models, moderate El Nino conditions are prevailing, and over the next couple of months, it is expected that the El Nino conditions shall completely abate and be replaced by neutral ENSO conditions.
Okay, so El Nino was one factor. What are the other reasons that April was so hot?
So another reason what the IMD predominantly attributed such warm April was the persistent presence of anticyclone system close to the Andhra Pradesh coast. So one can imagine a 1,000 to 2,000 kilometer in size system located over Andhra Pradesh. And this anticyclone system, which is a high pressure system, is able to push air from top on towards land. And this is called as a process called air subsidence. Due to this air subsidence, it so happens that the temperature closer to land increases. And second prominent reason, which the Met Department has attributed, is because of the presence of anticyclone over many days during April, the direction of breeze was mostly from land towards the sea. So there was no way that the cooling was happening. In normal circumstances, the coastal regions benefit from sea breeze from time to time. So the cool sea breeze blows onto the land and keeps a check on the temperature. But this time it was reverse. It was land breeze which was going from land towards the sea, which is why southern peninsular India, east coastal India suffered from prolonged heat wave conditions. And overall, the country did experience very hot summer, which was beyond normal.
And Anjali, can you tell us how high were the temperatures this April in comparison to those in the past?
So April was warmer in many areas of the country. As stated before, Southern Peninsula recorded or experienced the second warmest April since 1901. And breaching the normal temperatures of 35.89 degrees maximum temperature, the Southern Peninsula instead recorded 37.5 degrees, making it the second warmest April. Likewise, even the minimum temperatures were on the higher side over Southern Peninsula. So particularly, I would say that Southern Peninsula and Northeastern India, it was much warmer than otherwise what it would receive.
Anjali, we are now entering the peak summer months. What prediction has the IMD made regarding them?
So coming to forecast, which was released on 1st of May, the Met Department has not had any great news to share. It is predicted summer temperatures to be continuing to be remaining above normal even during May, and prolonged heat wave conditions are also predicted. And this time in May, if April the record temperatures were mostly limited to Southern Peninsula or Eastern India, Now, slowly, the temperatures are going to rise also in northern India. So, as a result, harsher summer days are awaiting Gujarat, Rajasthan, Delhi, Haryana, Chandigarh, Vidarbha region of Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Bihar, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. And this is also because summers over India peak during the May month. So heat waves have been predicted, which can last as long as 8 to 11 days, whereas the normal heat wave days in May, as per IMD, is 1 to 3 days.
And Anjali, are heat waves becoming frequent and summers getting warmer since the last couple of years?
We will not be in a position to say if heat waves are increasing or so, but definitely what the Met Department says that heat wave intensity and the duration of heat waves has definitely been increasing in the recent years. So for the same year, like for example, in the current year, Odisha has been reeling under heat wave conditions since April 15, and today it's the 18th day of being under heat wave. Similarly, the Gangetic West Bengal region also has been reeling under heat wave for 15 continuous days. So if not harsher heat waves, but we can say the heat wave intensity and its duration definitely has gone up, which means that you feel the summers are more intense. And maybe this is going to be a trend. And especially during El Nino years, it is a well-known fact that there are intense and prolonged heat waves.
Right. And could you talk about the kind of impact that heat waves have on the human body and what kind of precautions people should be taking?
So heat waves can be fatal if one doesn't take precautions. And especially for those people who fall under the vulnerable category like infants, elderly people, or those who work outdoors throughout, the farm laborers or construction workers. So there are certain category of people, because of their work nature, can be more vulnerable to heat-related ailments. So it is always advisable, and the doctors and the Met Agency always advises one to, of course, follow the forecast. But overall, it is suggested that one must stay sufficiently hydrated, and one must not step outdoors, especially during heat wave events or such extreme temperatures, particularly between 12 noon and 4 p.m., unless it's absolutely a necessity to step outdoors. Then wearing light-colored clothes and cotton clothes will always help you stay cool in such warm summer months. And exposure to such very high temperatures and heat must be avoided, or one must always take all these precautions in order to stay healthy and not suffer from heat-related ailments.
And in the end, we talk about the BJP fielding Karan Bhushan Singh from the Kaiserganj seat. The BJP yesterday named Karan Bhushan Singh as its Lok Sabha candidate from the Kaiserganj seat in Uttar Pradesh, replacing his father and incumbent MP, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The former president of the Wrestling Federation of India is currently facing allegations of sexual harassment leveled against him by 6 women wrestlers. The move retains the seats contest within the family, highlighting the influence of the Thakur leader and 6-time MP in the region and in the party. Meanwhile, the ruling party also named Dinesh Pratap Singh as the candidate from Rai Bareilly constituency, which was won by the former Congress president Sonia Gandhi in 2019. Sonia, who won from the Gandhi family bastion 5 consecutive times, was elected to the Rajya Sabha unopposed from Rajasthan earlier this year. Yesterday's announcement comes even as the Congress continues to take an unusually long time to name its candidate for the traditional Nehru-Gandhi family seats of Amethi and Rai Bareilly. Sources claim that the party leadership wants both Rahul and Priyanka to contest and has not shortlisted any other name for the 2 seats, as the last-minute discussions are on full swing. The deadline to file nominations for Amethi and Rai Bareilly is today. These seats are going to polls in the 5th phase on 20th of May. You were listening to 3 Things by the Indian Express. Today's show was edited and mixed by Suresh Pawar and produced by Shashank, Bhargava and me, Niharika, Nanda. If you like the show, then do subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also recommend the show to someone you think will like it. Share it with a friend or someone in your family. It's the best way for people to get to know about us. You can also tweet us at Express Audio and write to us at podcasts@indianexpress.com.